Good morning and welcome to Muscle Maintenance with In Shape Fitness. I'm Kim Watkins, your trainer for March 6th. It is a Wednesday, which means we're doing a level 3 difficulty workout. So right up the middle in terms of a challenge for your body, depending on how fit you are currently. But if you've been following me all week, you already have the foundational concepts down in terms of the moves that we're doing this week. Some boxing, some ballet, but all around total body workout in your bare feet without any equipment. Go ahead and stand up for me. Let's get you warmed up with a couple of moves. One, the jumping jack move, which everybody loves to hate me for, is the very first thing we do. But go ahead and stand up straight, get your shoulders back, your back is straight, your abs are engaged, and your tailbone is tucked in. Now keep in mind with jumping jacks, you want a slight bend in the knee throughout for shock absorption, and you want to land on the balls of your feet. Very important. No shoes, presumably, but if you are wearing shoes, still try to really land softly. And let's start the time now for 30 seconds. Make sure you don't have wet noodles for arms. Don't like that. We want a slight, ever so slight bend in the elbow, but you do want to reach all the way up in a controlled fashion, touching at the top and swinging your arms down in an equal amount of control. You've got about 10 more seconds. All of the moves will be for 30 seconds, and we'll do 2 sets of the 6 moves. The first set is instructional. The second set is non-stop, the flow set, which means we will have no breaks in between each of the moves. Okay, now bring your feet together for me. Heels and toes touching. Really focus on those isometric contractions of the pelvic floor muscles. This is a great time for those Kegel exercises. Really squeeze the belly button, pushing it in and back through to trying to reach your spine. Really squeeze everything in there. And reach up with your hands, press your palms together. No air between your 2 hands. And the 30 seconds is going on this move, which we call an I stick. It is simply the increase in range of motion through your back and your shoulders, and the lifting of your breath with your in through the nose, inhale, out through the mouth, exhale. Diaphragmatic breathing, so really engage that diaphragm, the muscle that controls the movement of your lungs, the pumping of blood and, the pumping of air into your body, carbon dioxide coming out of your body. Okay, so for the kicks that we're doing today, it's going to be an alternating cross-body kick. The other thing I want you to do, unless you are aerobically challenged, is to go ahead and lift your arms up like a kickboxer would. Make sure that your forearms are kind of in front of your face. This is a cross-body kick, so you're going to lift your right knee up and then with the flexed foot, kick out to the left. Then you'll put that foot back down on the floor, then lift up the left knee and kick it out to the right. So kind of like you're kicking out to the opposite side. Keep your feet flexed. When you put the foot back on the floor, make sure that you have your pinky toes and heels in line. Your feet need to be completely straight the entire time. A slight bend in your knee is good. Keep the abs engaged. Don't bend forward, and go. 30 seconds. Nice. Keep those arms up. Really make a right angle with at your elbow joint and protect your face with your forearm like a kickboxer would. What you'll find at the end of this week is we may actually end up combining some punching with some kicking, because your next move is the punching move, the boxing move, right? Halfway there. You're doing great. Hang in there with me. I know this is not the super sexy, get to look at somebody really beautiful on your television screen or what have you, but you do get a really good workout without having to go into your gym. You can do it in your pajamas, which is what I always do, and it's over. It's done. You're skipping the gym. There's no guilt associated with your ability to just get this maintenance work done and then enjoy the rest of your day, albeit in a healthy way. But let's do some punching now. So sit down and back into an imaginary chair with your toes and heels in line. Make sure those feet are straight. And punch up towards your ceiling. Yesterday you just did the regular sort of standard boxing punch, but make a fist with your hands and punch up. Now, when you punch and get to that top part, instead of letting gravity bring your hand back down, pull your hand back down, keeping your elbow close to your body. 30 seconds starts now. Keep breathing. Remember, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You really want to take the air in through your nose. As you gasp, if you take air in through your mouth, there's a different sort of chemical reaction, that a signal that's sent to the brain that is kind of like a panic. Your body doesn't really want to take your deep breathing in that way. So really focus on that breath. A couple more seconds. Good. Now let's shift to some ballet. Bring your feet together, your heels together rather. Your toes should be as wide as possible. You should be staggering, so get yourself ready by contracting all the muscles in your legs and pressing down into the floor with all four corners of each foot. Very important. Focus on connecting with your floor. Now, bring your hands either onto your hips or out into to the front like a ballerina would, and you're going to bend your knees, lowering the body into a demi-plie about 5 inches, 4 to 6 inches. And exhale as you lift up, pressing your heels into the floor. Keep it going. 30 seconds is going to go now. Nice. You are doing great. Almost halfway there. Focus on moving slowly. No functional worry whatsoever about the number of repetitions that you do in any of these segments. You're just moving with control. As I tell you to speed things up if you need to, then listen for that. But otherwise, just focus on precision. You will get so much more mileage out of each of these 30-second segments. Okay, last move on the floor here is an alternating reverse lunge. So now, again, hands on the hips or out to your sides for balance. Take a big step back with the right leg. Bend both knees to 90 degrees. Then push off with the right leg back to start. Then continue with the left leg. Now, if you can't really do these very well, the forward lunge is slightly easier. You can also revert to the modified reverse lunge if you want to do just the partial bending of both knees, and then just stay put in that position, bending at throughout the 30 seconds. So, or actually 15 seconds, you'll need to switch. All right, let's start the 30 seconds now, and at 15 seconds, I'll let you know when it's halfway. So if you're doing the modified lunge, you have that option to switch, but it's an alternating reverse lunge for today for the difficulty 3 level, and you are coming up on that halfway point. 15 seconds to go. Make sure that the front leg, where the front knee does not extend past the tips of the front foot, the toes of the front foot. You really want to keep the body straight. You don't want to collapse at your waist. You've got 3 more seconds. All right, now lower your body down onto the floor into the tabletop pose. So your hands are on the floor with your fingers facing forward. Your shoulders are directly over your hands. Your feet are on the floor. Pinky toes and heels in line, and lift the body up into the tabletop where your torso and your quads make the tabletop actually. Today is a crab kick. So if you're capable of doing this, that's great. If you're not, you can do the heel lift from yesterday, or you can just hang out in this pose. But the crab kick is where you're going to lift up the right leg, lift the right knee and kick out the right foot. Then put it back on the floor, put that foot back on the floor in the right position. Then lift up the left knee and kick out the left foot, and then return it to the floor and alternate. Time starts now. This is hard. You have to keep your hips up in the air. You have to support your body weight between your legs and your hands. You want to, on the foot that's not moving, you want to keep the toes down on the floor. Don't let the toes float up north, because then your weight's all in your heel, which means everything's transferring to your back and your quads. You're halfway done, more than halfway done actually. Last 10 seconds. Do not give up. This is a really important position to help become natural and to in which you can benefit from in so many ways. I can't stress that enough. Okay, lay down on the floor now with your hands behind your head. Your legs are straight up in the air. Soles of your feet facing your ceiling. Take a deep breath in, and you're going to just crunch up by scooping that tummy up and down and up, pressing the belly button towards your spine again. Lifting your head, your shoulders, and the top of your rib cage. Squeeze and pause at the apex, at that very tippy top, so that when you change directions, you maintain control. 30 seconds starts now. Very nice. Make sure that you're inhaling on your way down. You exhale as you crunch up and squeeze. Really focus on the contraction that you think about, that you do. It's not just a movement of the body, it's a squeeze of the muscle, and there's a lot of muscle in there. There might be a lot of other stuff with it that we want to get rid of ultimately, but you do have muscle in there, even if you're weak. So you want to focus on it. And the weaker you are, the harder it is to focus. But we'll get there. And you're all set. Stand on up for me. You're done with the first set. Take a deep breath. Have a sip of water. Get yourself ready for that alternating cross-body kick and the start of the flow set. It's going to be about 3.5 minutes from start to finish. We're not going to lollygag. I'm not going to tell you all that much. Just move. Do not stop. Ready, set, go. Alternating cross-body kick. Make sure that you are keeping your feet flexed as you kick them out. You're kicking the right foot to the left. You're kicking the left foot to the right. You've got your hands up in the kickboxing protection mode or pose with your hands, your forearms protecting your face. And you've got 10 more seconds. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Please do not hold your breath. Could be the worst thing ever. Okay. Vertical punch. Sit down in a squat as you start punching up with the right hand, punching up with the left hand. And remember, as you punch up, you're coming back down. Pull the arm down. Create the negative resistance by thinking about it. It works. It's proven. And stay in the squat the entire time. So you should start to feel a little bit of a little bit of burn in the legs. Press the heels into the floor to make sure that the quads don't feel all of the burn. Very nice. Okay, now bring your feet into first position, heels together, toes out, and demi-plie. Time starts now. Your hands can be on your hips or out in front like a ballerina's plie. 10 seconds in. Press those heels into the floor. Really focus on the way that you isometrically contract the hip muscles as you stand back up in that fully erect position, and then you bend your knees. You release a little of that tension and then re-engage it as soon as you stand all the way back up again. All right, 3 seconds. Alternating reverse lunge. Time starts now. Big step back with the right leg. You want to be able to make 2 right angles and lower the torso straight down. Alternate feet. Again, don't worry about the number of repetitions. Just take your time, move with precision, and try not to, knock yourself off balance by twisting your feet. You want to keep those ankles perfectly straight with your toes, and you've got 5 seconds left. We're going down to the floor. 2 moves. And you will be on your way for the rest of the day. Wednesday. It's always nice to just get to Wednesday, right? Okay, sit down on the floor. Get yourself into tabletop position. And let's do those kicks. Remember, pinky toes and heels in line, and keep the toes down on the foot that's not moving. Time starts now. Remember, you're lifting the knee up first, then with a flexed foot, kicking the foot out in a controlled way, then putting the foot back down on the floor. Your fingers are facing forward. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. You are close. Another 10 seconds, and we'll finish up with that vertical leg crunch again. Excellent. Okay, lay down on the floor, hands behind your head, feet up in the air, straight legs. Last 30 seconds. Crunch up. Real control here. You may do 15 of these, probably not quite that many, but it is not, again, a function of the number of crunches that you do. Start especially slowly when you're doing a new move. You really want to make sure that you're doing it perfectly. After you perfect your form and you know exactly what you're doing, you can make it more dynamic and speed up. But a lot of the efficiency of exercise has to do with your ability to exercise correctly. So many people just go out there and they think if they're moving, then they're doing something really great for their bodies, and that often is not necessarily the case. It is somewhat counterintuitive. Micro movements and controlled movements do sometimes mean a lot more in terms of the boost of your metabolism, which ultimately is what will control your weight. On that note, you're all set. I'm Kim Watkins from In Shape Fitness. I hope you enjoyed this workout. I want to just send a thank you shout out to my lovely husband, who is the sound engineer and studio owner in New York City that I work with in his studio sometimes, but I finally have the technology set back up again, and I apologize for a couple of really not sounding great workouts, but we should be smooth sailing from here on out. So enjoy this, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for the level 4 workout of the week. Have a great day.